What is going on, everybody? It is the Power Rankings again with me, Rye, and Kamel. Kamel, how you doing?
I am doing good. Back for another week of Power Rankings.
Let's go. I don't know how you guys out there in the YouTube realm are heading, but it is getting cold in NA, especially the East Coast. So if I sniffle, if Kamel sniffles, listen, it's not our fault, I swear.
Yeah, it's just how it is, buddy.
Power Rankings. Oh my God, I think the meta is finally settling. I think this is it. I think this is the one where we start saying this is the meta game before DDDs come out. What do you think about the meta?
It is really exciting to see a set of new decks under the top oppressors doing well. Even if not all of those decks are hitting the power rankings every week, we're starting to see a lot more trends of different stuff doing well continuously in tournaments throughout the week. So I'm excited.
After you get the top 5, it gets kind of a little crazy. Resonators, desk bots, noble knights, thunder heroes. What is going on?
There's a ton of stuff in there. This week was pretty crazy. There was some nutty tournament wins this week. So
as always, guys, first place 6 points, second place 4 points, third 4, second, fifth, and eighth 1 point. Today, very, very simple. We have all of the battle phases: Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and battle step, as well as meta freaklies and the meta weeklies. The meta weekly and the battle step being the biggest, largest tournaments, and all the other ones being the free tournaments. Let's just jump right into it. First place, Harpy Ladies at 29 points, 2 tournament victories this time. Oh boy.
Yep. No surprise here. Harpies once again doing what they do best. No deck has really cracked the code as a hard counter. However, I do believe the reason why Harpies did not have such a more dominant presence on the week, 29 points, kind of low for them. Next deck, not too far behind them. A lot of these rogue decks that have been popping up, they have pretty good Harpy matchups. I have been seeing, and they are lowering the amount of Harpies that reach top 8 in tournaments overall. So
I think we talk about this all the time. Harpies, it's a weak tier 1, right? So a lot of memes are gonna beat it, and I actually like metas like that where the tier 1 isn't really that strong, so you get a bunch of memes like desk bots winning tournaments.
Desk bots, noble knights, heck, even decks like Melodious, which are new and they have weird win conditions, are able to survive against the Harpy combo.
There you go.
It's the same thing. At this point, you know what you have to account for: the Swallow's Nest, the follow-up with the Cyber Slash. That's it. As long as you know you can handle that, you can beat Harpies. However, they still are best deck.
There you go. Norrentino, champion of Meta Weekly. That's our mod. Tell him congratulations. Second place. Congrats. Oh my goodness. Water is the best deck at 23 points. 1 tournament victory. What else is there to say? The meta is shrinking. There's only a couple decks. Your side deck can be just to counter whatever you want to counter, as long as you top deck it. That's all.
Water deck is still doing pretty good. Some lists now opting for Forbidden Lands and Chalice, as you can see, over the Book of Moon if you don't have it. So those are good, swap out options if you don't have Book of Moon. Chalice and Lands, they accomplish pretty much the same thing. Stopping your opponent, giving yourself that immunity to back row is always really good.
And you need to out that Bloom Diva, so that Chalice is super, super important.
For real, Chalice is super good right now.
I see a lot of people, they say, oh, Bloom Diva is like Lunalight, but not really. Lunalight was inconsistent and played D-Draw. Melodious is going to summon Bloom Diva or Shoberta. They're going to do it.
They got a summon from deck. They got a really good skill. They got a hand trap. Melodious is pretty overloaded right now.
So
Chalice is definitely something you want to be packing if your deck does not have monster negation.
50% jump sale. Get in there, boys. Sure. Then we got the Yosenju sticking out here in third place. This deck is pretty much, I guess, the best D-Draw deck that we have right now.
And unfortunately, it is pretty much identical to the Yosenju deck before R5 World came out, which, I don't like. I'm like, man, y'all not even trying to play Pendulums out here. But the Yosenju deck, as it is with the commas, is very solid. It's always been solid, but right now, there are not many decks that can capitalize off of Yosenju's not having monsters on the field. That's probably one of their strongest suits, that they can have so much removal, so much protection, and have no monsters on the field at all, and then make their big plays on their turn when they put stuff out. So a lot of the better decks, like Harpies, water deck that depend on you having monsters on the field for them to clear, Yosenju's does not have to deal with that. They just say, nope, I'm going to make my plays on my turn, and you have to deal with it.
Yeah, the only really interesting thing is the only traps they're playing are the Sword Sting, deal with Melodious as well as the Comma 1. They just said, fuck it, we're not going to play around the Harpy's Hunting Ground at all. We're just going to play all hand traps. We'll have a winning matchup against Melodious and a somewhat equal to losing matchup against Harpies, and we'll call it a day from there.
That's all you need. Don't try to beat Harpies at their own game.
No, don't do it.
Stand to hand.
Magnus, we actually have a bunch of decks that tied at 10 points. So we put them based on how many tournament wins, first, second, fourth, all that they have accumulated. And here we go with Magnets in 4th place. Continues to be a meta deck. I asked last week, Kamel, is this just a one-time thing or is it going to continue? It continued.
No, dude, Magnets is very, very solid, especially if it is in the
Would you say rock solid?
It's rock solid, especially when it's in the hands of an absolute monster like Gym Leader
Oh
Brawl.
my god, how many has he won?
He won Battle Phase Thursday last week, which was his 4th Battle Phase win with Magnets. And this week, unfortunately, he did lose to Noble Knights in the finals. He was about to get his 5th. But the Magnet deck is just so good, constantly generating resources. You are putting up disposable monsters, forcing your opponent to deal with them, use their powerful effects on them the entire duel until you are ready to bring out that Berserkion play, as well as your Xyz monsters, forcing your opponent to use a lot of their resources on your disposable monsters that you intend on tagging in and out is huge with Magnets. You are constantly manipulating your field and manipulating your opponent because you are looking for that optimal board state, and your opponent is just not able to, compete with you trying to get that out.
Yeah, the Gorgonic Guardian negating monster effects, magnetic field, non-targeting removal.
These monsters are huge in this deck.
Yeah.
Giga Brilliant into Corbage. It straight up runs over Melodious if they're trying to play in defense. Yosenju's, if they're trying to, put up any kind of defense, the Ghost Trick Alucard will straight up remove their set cards before their power play. Magnets has a lot of good plays against the tiered decks.
Bro, I remember Gym Leader Brawl's first win against Witchcraft. We had the Valkyrion. Everyone is so hyped.
Way back when.
Now it's like, bro, you want another one? Get out of here, dude. Love to see it, though.
Every tournament, dude. He is a powerhouse.
I love to see it, though. Love the Magnets. Happy to see they're finally meta. And then the last deck, Melodious in 5th place. What the? Why is this higher?
Dude, a lot of people are thinking right now Melodious is the deck right now. It's definitely very consistent, has a very good skill, and Blue Diva is a huge boss monster that a lot of people are struggling to outplay right now. Melodious just has so much comeback potential. They can come back off of a single card, the first movement solo. And just overall powerful effects, powerful hand trap. Pretty much, I think they're the only deck right now that has a hand trap like that. So,
yeah, damage calculation, that is insane. Like that's way beyond damage step, which a lot of decks can't handle.
Yeah, every single monster in the core is just super effective at getting your resources back, making sure you can fusion every turn. Necrofusion in this deck is massive because you often don't need to attack, which is the only downside of Necrofusion. And yeah, man, deck is really good. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, it pushed a lot of decks out of the metagame, right? Gaia, Thunder Dragon, Blue Eyes. These are all decks that we were thinking may come back into it.
Yes.
But they're just not going to against this deck specifically. So
yeah, that's a very good point, right? Thunder Dragons and Gaia, you do not see them strictly because their Melodious matchup is so bad.
It's pretty bad
in tournaments, and it's really hard for you to counterplay it. Especially in side deck. Game 1, you're pretty much going to auto lose to Melodious, and they are definitely running those techs to just make sure they win their bad matchups right away. So.
And I really
definitely a powerhouse deck of Work 5.
I really do think that this is like the last week where they get it's a new deck pass. Next week I do want to see them higher, at least 2nd place. 3rd or 2nd place. Don't let it be water again. Because
people got to start siding against it. Though.
Yeah, that's the key. And that is all the top 5 decks. We can talk about the other deck that tied for the last place. That was Noble Knights. Oh my goodness. Technical 6th place. What on earth? 10 points. What's happening there?
Yeah, Noble Knights are actually making a comeback in this meta, and it is because they are a deck like Magnets, which does not present their boss monster as their main play, right? They set up several Noble Knights with equip cards and force your opponent to deal with them. And then if you're able to see a power card like Gwynnifer or Merlin, you know, that then you are just jebaiting your opponent so well. They blow their back row monster effects, trying to remove your annoying Noble Knights that have the effects of the equip spells, and then your Merlin just boop, Xyz summons over them while they're trying to make their play. So yeah, Noble Knights are definitely a really strong deck right now, although I do believe, like you said, they are a rogue deck. They're trying to find their place back in the meta. But yeah, they're making use of some powerful cards like Storm, the one on Storm. They are putting it in their deck because they can make very good use of it.
I mean, they're a 30-card deck that has no consistency, dude. They're either going to go in and sack you or go in and it's going to be hilarious. So,
yeah, that's the thing. You know, they don't have consistency like they used to, but, you know, 30-card deck, they're trying to make up for it the best they can.
Yeah, the only thing that's really got them going is their Melodious matchup is so hilariously one-sided. If they don't break, asterisks here. If they don't break, it is they do not. Melodious literally just can't do anything. Their only play is Schroberta banish their Gwynnifer. So if they just never send Gwynnifer, they just sit there and out-resource you until they eventually win. It's actually kind of hilarious. But it does lose to Harpy. For Harpy specifically, they have to go first and not brick, so that's just asking way too much at that point.
Any deck that depends on spell and traps is just gonna have a weak matchup against Harpies, regardless. And that does not have hard monster removal on your opponent's turn is gonna lose against Harpies and most of the meta decks. So.
There you go. Only other deck really worth notably talking about, besides Deskbots, which is the best deck, so we don't have to even explain that, is Resonators. They earn 9 points, 1 point away from tying. This deck's actually doing very well, and it might even be, we've been playing it wrong the whole time. The skill may have been mistranslated or bugged. We're not sure yet. So they might be getting a minor buff in the coming future, but in this scuffed state, it's still doing pretty well, at least to a rogue level, I feel.
Yeah, it's competing. People have found more text to use with the new skill, but honestly, I want to say the deck has not changed a whole lot.
Nope.
I want to say it hasn't changed at all, but people are using Red Nova Dragon a little bit more. I have been seeing, but I mean, you know,
they're pretty much forced to, right? You can't really do anything about it. Just I'll just summon Red Nova.
Still, the deck still has access to Book of Moon TTH, so you know it is what it is.
And Dark End Dragon's amazing. Doesn't sends for Bloom Diva. Pretty good, pretty good. Other than that, I love this meta that we're in right now. We have DDDs coming next week to change it up as well.
Let's see how much we get. Will we get the structure deck and the box on the character release? Will we?
That would be insane. Because it's the structure then the character, right? The next day.
Character on the 21st, then we don't know. I would hope that they release the structure and they don't delay it.
Yeah, I hope so.
That sure would suck.
That'll be awesome. Any closing remarks about this metagame?
Nothing, just it seems a lot more positive than it was a couple weeks ago. I know, like last week and the week before especially, people were really depressed. They're like, Harpy's best deck, Balance didn't do nothing. Oh my god. But this week, I think we're starting to see some of the cracks in that playstyle and in that philosophy. So hopefully some of these lower decks that are starting to get wins in tournaments, perform in tournaments, hopefully they catch on with other people. There's a lot of powerful decks that can just straight up roll over Harpies in the water deck.
If you like off-meta decks, this is the meta for you. Start playing those decks in the tournaments. Join the Discord. It's in the description. We host all of our tournaments, and we have quite the tournament lineup here for the end of October. Multiple $100 tournaments, multiple $500 tournaments. Some guy wants to make a Halloween phase with a zombie meme deck. Like, you got to be in here for it. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. That's pretty much it. Take it easy, boys.